Well, continuing on the golf tip, the Swing for Goals Golf Day took place at the Serengeti Golf and Wildlife Estate, and that went down on the 22nd of May this year, blending sport with impact. And our very own Carl Clark attended and shares highlights from a day where purpose and partnership led the way. So let's take a look.
We're teeing off into the future right here at the beautiful Serengeti Golf Estate, where business meets purpose and innovation meets impact. And Swing for Goals are redefining the traditional golf day by driving a force for sustainable development goals, sparking bold conversation, visionary ideas, and leadership that can spark real change on and off the green. What inspired this concept called Swing for Goals?
Look, it was scratching my own itch as an entrepreneur. When you have problems and you don't quite know who to talk to about certain things. And I then started building a collective of people and saying, can I bring them around the table through golf? It grew, I was doing it naturally, helping people out. And then this idea called partnership then started. If any business wants to be sustainable in the long term, relationships are very critical, and putting is a critical part of golf. So you have to get that right, and that's essentially the foundation.
As the CEO of Partnership and Swing for Goals, I want to find out from you, we had such an incredible turnout in terms of your event today. What kind of success are you looking for at an event like this?
Partnership, as I think it's important that people in different spaces start connecting. I hear a lot of conversations also on the golf course, but they happen in silos. So I'm hoping for those partnerships to really happen, conversations that lead to transformation. There's a lot of transactional type of mindsets sometimes in business, but there's very few transformational people that really want to change this country, change the economy and industries. And I think, if we have an enabling environment, I think we can get there. So that's the impact I'm hoping to then achieve at the end of the day.
Dr. Kwesi, thank you so much for being on the show. I want to find out from you, why do you believe it's so essential to have events like this and it breaking silos between private sectors and government?
I think it's important because it allows leaders from both the private sector and government to engage on important policy issues beyond what we see in the headlines. And because in spaces like this, they can articulate challenges and both achievements that are sector-specific, that are institutional-specific when it comes to government leaders. But secondly, we need to build a culture of collaboration between the private and the public sector in order to drive some of our key socio-economic goals. And the third thing also, we need to give a space for smaller players who might not be part of large business associations to also articulate their views, both in terms of their successes, their challenges, and their visions of an alternative economy. So I think that's why the space is particularly important.
I think events like this are educational in the first instance. They share much needed information. We delved into the Transformation Fund, which was recently launched by the Deputy President and Minister Tau, and we spoke about the need for returning investment with respect to that fund and the need for us to make sure that we are not compromised by corruption in terms of ensuring that we invest in the productive sectors of our economy. And that's why there's a much deeper conversation about the need for us not just to fight corruption in the public sector, but also to nip it in the bud in the private sector.
So the one thing we want everyone to take home is that SDGs aren't about just charity or philanthropic goals. SDGs are primarily related to transforming the economy in order to improve human development. So that's the one core thing. I think the second thing is that we need to exchange information on what we're producing where and what our sector experiences. And this is important because if we have information around the different sectors, we can then design policy around that lived experience. Because if you have policy that's just designed from just top down or just from desktop, without this lived experience, it's never gonna resolve the real problems on the ground. And then the third thing is that we also want to have collaboration around transformation. All of us are interested in the idea of building an inclusive economy which includes allowing more black ownership, more SMMEs, but we have to find points of collaboration and low-hanging fruits to achieve that. So forums like this help us move beyond just what we see in Parliament, what we see in the newspapers, and actually say, let's sit down as organizations, as institutions, and let's identify key catalysts for driving transformation so that we have more of an inclusive economy.
It's been an evening full of fresh perspectives and firm handshakes. And Swing for Goals proves that when purpose meets performance, everybody wins. And this is how the future gets shaped. One dialogue, one goal, and one yes at a time.
Oh, he looks so good.
I know. Look, he can look the part. Okay, I was hoping we'd see him be put under the pressure. You have no idea the terror of arriving at a golf day where everyone can play golf, okay? Absolutely love it, though. But the purpose behind it is the most important thing. And I don't think we realize how much strategic networking actually happens at these sorts of events. Money, money, money. Well done, buddy.